Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the movie Men. This sci-fi, horror, drama, whatever it may be, film with a lot to unpack. So let's get into it. Okay, yeah, so I have just finished watching the film Men, and I feel the need to talk about it. It's an interesting one, a lot to unpack, a weird one as well. So let's find out why. But before I do, please hit the subscribe button, come join the channel, hit the notification bell, keep you updated with all my content, and most importantly, leave a comment. I do reply to all comments. So yeah, there we go. So this film here, this is brought to us, written and directed by Alex Garland. Now, Alex Garland has quite an interesting filmography behind him. He hasn't got many films that he's directed, but he has directed the movie Ex Machina, or Ex Machina, however it's pronounced, Annihilation, the Natalie Portman sci-fi film from, I think it was 2018. But he's also written films like 28 Days Later, the sci-fi movie Sunshine, and Dredd. Yes, the Carl Urban Judge Dredd film from 2012. So, you know, he's got a good catalogue of film behind him. So he's not an untalented individual. Now, this film stars Jessie Buckley as Harper and Rory Kinnear as Jeffrey, among others, which we'll come into. So, a little bit about the story. Now, this review will contain spoilers. I can't talk about this film without spoiling certain elements of it. So, please be warned, because if I did try and there's things I want to talk about that yeah, just, and you'll see why. You'll see why. So the story behind this film is that you've got Jessie Buckley, Jessie Buckley's character Harper. Now she's an individual who, she goes to the countryside to get away from things, a sort of vacation, sort of holiday. But what's happened is she's gone through a breakdown of her marriage with her husband. He's either killed himself or has died in an accident. It's undetermined which, but he did threaten to kill himself at the point that she starts asking for a divorce. This all happens in flashback as the film progresses, but he's also quite violent towards her in the frustration of their marriage breaking down. Not that he was violent before that, but he hits her during this argument, and this just strengthens her resolve into going through with a divorce. So he's died, and now she's off in the countryside, and she rents out this house, and she meets up with Jeffrey, who's played by Rory Kinnear, and yeah, now she's alone there. You know, it's a very desolate place. There's a little town. She goes off for some walks, and she starts getting hassled and followed by an individual who's naked, and the police are called, police arrest, but ultimately the police let this person go. Now, and this person then comes back, much to her dismay and this sort of a thing. But every character in this film, every male character in this film, is played by Rory Kinnear. Every single one. There's a reason behind this, and we come into this in a bit. Now, the film it's wonderfully shot. I can't deny that. It's acted very, very well. Both Jessie Buckley is fantastic, and Rory Kinnear is very chameleonic in it, playing these different roles. Now, there is no other female presence within the film apart from a friend of Jessie Buckley's, or Harper's, the character, who appears on the end of a phone. There's no other real female presence in the film. The town's population, as you see it as a viewer, it is just men. They're all men, played by Rory Kinnear, all looking different, as in different haircuts, different. Do you know what I mean? Even one's a young boy with Rory Kinnear's face. It looks freakishly odd. It doesn't look good. It just, something doesn't sit right about it. So this film goes into some really, really weird symbolism. It really does. Answers are not really given as to what's going on, but basically it's a horror film in that, you know, she's getting followed by this naked individual who enjoys cutting himself and sticking leaves into these cuts. Obviously everyone else in the town is male, and Rory Kinnear, and they've all got their quirks as well. There, you know, there's this, he plays this priest who is who starts blaming her for the suicide of the husband. There's a young boy. The young boy version is very rude to her. All this sort of stuff going on. Now, like I said, it's a really difficult one to unpack. But basically, the film's themes touch upon... it's very misogynistic towards men. It's a film that hates men. Basically, you got this woman, she's the good guy. Rory Kinnear just plays men. All these men are evil. So it is a very male-bashing movie. But you've got all this other weird stuff going on towards the end, where you find that the tree person, the one who's putting leaves in him and starts turning into a tree, essentially, he starts giving birth to another version of himself, anally. He gives birth anally. Anally. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds. You see him there, tackle out, and you see it. You visually see. And then that version, a few seconds later, then gives birth to another version that you've seen in the town, but through the belly button. Then another one gives birth out of the mouth, like feet come out first. And it's just really weird, really, really weird, screwed up mess of a film. The film leaves you with more questions than what it does answers. You've not, by the end of the film, you've not got any more out of the film than what you've got from the beginning. You don't know where this thing comes from, where it comes from. I think it's alluded that it comes from outer space, because there is a scene in the film where she's about to get in her car and the car gets taken. You'd have to watch the film, and there's you've got the stars, and you've got like, it just looks like this is there for a reason. It's sort of telling you something. That's all I can read into it. But what I can say is the film is very much playing in the theme park of men's control over women. Even at the beginning of the film, with the husband saying, "If you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself," trying to control her in that sense. And then you get to the town, you've got all these men trying to have their influence on her, and all I can read into it is that the continuation of the birth at the end is a sort of inferring that this goes on generation after generation after generation towards women, this sort of a thing. So this is what I'm saying, that this film is very man-hating. Man is the bad guy. The film's called Men. Yeah, it is truly a weird film. It's not a film for me. Like I said, I can't fault the director. I can't fault the acting, but as writing goes, it's not very good. It thinks it's smarter than what it is. It pretends to be smarter than what it is, but ultimately it falls flat. It really does. I mean, Rory Kinnear is a fantastic actor. He was very good in Penny Dreadful as Frankenstein. You know, he's been in James Bond films. He's been in a lot of stuff, and he is very good, and he's very good here. But ultimately, like I said, it's just bash, bash, bash men bad, women good. It's one of them. But anyway, I can't really say nothing more about it. Weird film, strange film. Going into it at your peril. It's not a film I'd ever wish to revisit. Yeah, anyway, this is AJ. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.